So this next one here addresses what I have done. I would say about a year and a half ago, I started getting the feelings that the country's going in the wrong direction, and I wanted to be able to have a voice, to be able to be, prominent at the national level. And so I came up with the idea of writing a book, which for me is the second book that I have now written. It's called Special Welfare, Social Warfare, Adolescence to Adulthood, a guidebook. So in the premise of the book, at the very end, I came up having worked now for the past 35 some odd years with young people and having the licensed clinical social work, board certified, diploma, all the credentials necessary for putting together and understanding what would be the most advantageous thing that I could provide for our youth, specifically ages 18, 19, and 20. My thought was a rite of passage. A rite of passage is ancient, and I have looked through the past 3 decades and have we no longer have that where you are taken by mentors and guides and not told what it is to be an adult, but shown. And so I created a 1 year program that is, again, a rite of passage. And with it, I was unable to get it funded. So the way I saw it is that at the end of the book, I would provide you with the website that would take you to my 501c3 website of Honor Bound Academy and allow you to see exactly what I meant by a 1 year program for adolescence to adulthood and those ages 18, 19, and 20. But what also was critical is from the front end, I needed to tell a story. And that story goes back to my military career. I'm a former Navy SEAL. I was discharged from SEAL Team 1 for drug use. And that left me in shambles. And I had no clue as to how to live life without drugs, let alone, without my military career, which was um, it was my identity. I had lost everything. And so after a 90-day recovery facility, I saw that I was not, I had stopped using drugs, but I was not going to make it because there was no way for me to remember what is critical to recovery, and that is what happened in your youth. So I took a job, started working with adolescents who were in a recovery facility, experiencing what I had experienced 15 years earlier, and I was able to see them transition from it was a court appointed 1 year program where I got to view these young people and the miraculous strength that came from within when they addressed their issues. And those are the demons that lie within all of us. I was watching these young people sharing that, and it gave me the strength to reach within myself to do the same thing. After having worked with them for about 4 years, I took another job, Boys and Girls Club. And again, it was to have fun playing. I loved being the unit director. I started out with 59 kids. 4 years later, I had 440 kids. And again, they embraced me. They made me feel that I belonged somewhere, that they trusted me, that they brought me their uh, whatever the issues were that were truly, you know, being very harmful to them. And because that they trusted me that way, I again had to take another step in that I had to go back to school because I didn't have the answers when asked certain times with certain people. I went back, got the bachelor's, the master's, license, board certification, and all the experience so that today There is not a circumstance that a young person can bring to me that I don't have the answer for. And if I don't have that answer, I know exactly where to get it. And that came from their embrace of a broken man that years ago, after being discharged and losing an identity as a special forces operator, an elite Navy SEAL, and they showed me how to find meaning and purpose in life. Again, that was just on par to the one that I had lost. And that is to be an advocate and stand at their side. And so the book goes on to share with you various ways of understanding how we got here as a country. You know what? There's all the generations. There's the greatest generation, the silent generation, boomers. We got Generation X or 13ers. We've got Y or millennials, and we've got Z. All of those are different. And to understand, I broke it down into a SWOT. I went with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I did it for each of the generations so that we could see the strengths and the weaknesses that we all possess and the opportunities that are there should we all decide to be there for our young people. And if not, the threat is we are going to bankrupt a nation and leave the bill, of which already the national debt is $21 trillion. We're leaving our young people a bill that they did not write and that they did not receive anything for. And on top of that, which is critical to them, is the global circumstance of what is happening to our planet. To them, it is a priority. It's an issue here and now as to what is going to happen. And what are we going to do? We're going to leave them a $21 trillion bill and on top of it, a planet that's falling apart. Is that what we were meant to do? Because if that is, then we are the threat. Boomer, silent, greatest, we are the threat, and you're not going to hide from it. So I tell it in a story: special welfare, social warfare, adolescence to adulthood, a guidebook to see in the back. Front end is the story to understand the truth of how we got here. How did we get to this place? And holding accountable all the generations and specifically seeking to advocate for our youth. That is what I am doing with writing the book, hoping for national exposure so that I can say this to our youth is I'm not here to ask you to trust me. I'm here to ask you to give me the opportunity to earn your trust. Over the last 3.5 decades, you have taught me what it is and what I need to be there for you. I sit here now asking to advocate for you, and I will patiently await your verdict because at this stage, I can't force my way onto you. I cannot force my way into that position. If you so choose, I bring 60 plus years of knowledge of all the generations that preceded us, all about my generation and all the other generations. I know where all the secrets are. I know where they're hiding. And if you wish to do battle, I seek to advocate for you, but it is your battle plan and telling me how and what you want to go to battle with. And then I'll show you what an unconventional education that I was given translates into how that is you, the youth of America, and I, as your advocate, will open upon the society as a whole so that you will know that if if nothing changes, you'll know whose responsibility. And if something changes, you'll know who is responsible. And you will know that your place is coming for leadership. It is in that time what we will learn in the next decade that will prepare you for either watching the world fall apart or seeing how we can put it together. What I wish to do is give you the opportunity to look to your future and feel hopeful rather than helpful. No, I wish for you to feel hopeful rather than helpless. If anything, this is what I wish to offer you, to look into the future and know that there's potential there and it's going to be all right. So read it, see what you think of it. And while you do so, I'm here working my way into an opportunity to be heard at the national level. And should that happen, and I believe it will, what I've shared with you in the last several minutes of this is what I will say again at that time. I am seeking to advocate for America's youth. My name is Tom.